Hey everybody, my name is Phil. I'm the owner of Tri-City Men's Health, and today I'm gonna do an interview with Hunter Thundercloud, who has been a client of ours for a long time. Just want to introduce Hunter real quick. He is a dedicated entrepreneur with a diverse portfolio owning overall construction and overall moving. He is currently developing a native-focused drug and alcohol rehab center driven by his personal journey of sobriety of 6 years. He is a proud and healthy family man, and he is passionate about making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. And I think I'm able to relate with him on that level in a very deep and personal way. So thank you, Hunter, for being a part of this.
Thanks for inviting me.
So I have a few questions to ask you. I'll start out just kind of if you can help me understand what your journey of testosterone has been, how you've decided to get on this, kind of your symptoms, and then I have a bunch of other questions to ask you.
Okay. I think I've been on it almost a year. I had a friend who was on it and he talked to me about it and I was a little bit interested. I saw some videos on social media and I was feeling tired. Life is busy for me because I have two businesses. And I think that he really talked about was optimizing my life. That was one of the words that really like drew me to trying to find someone that offered it. And then, I had some mutual friends that knew Phil. He suggested I called him or call him, and I went and I talked to Tim, and it was a great experience. It made me feel comfortable. We talked through some like of my concerns about it, but overall my journey with it's been great. I mean, initially the first few months I had a little bit of acne, but it went away really quick, maybe 6 weeks. It was like a weird thing. It didn't bother me because I felt so good. It felt like such a minor side effect. It feels like I've been able to retain muscle more. I go to the gym maybe 3 4 times a week, but when I don't, I feel like I've been able to grow muscle even. I don't know. I feel better. My sex drive's really gone up, which is really that's like a big deal. I think coming out of recovery, because I was an opiate user for 6 years, it really killed my sex drive. And you get nervous about in the beginning of a relationship, and it's things that happens when you get sober. It's like you don't really know all the consequences of your actions, and they slowly like accumulate all these little things, and it like you would never imagine that your sex drive is going to be affected by opiates or your drug use, or like when you're doing it, you don't care. But this has really helped it. And I also like in working, if I choose to work 10 and 12 hours a day, I'm fine. But yeah, my experience is great. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, and you can tell your girl to write me a handwritten Christmas card, okay?
Yeah, I can. I will. She will. I should probably send you a big basket. So
Great. Yeah, that's the thing is a massive improvement is your sex drive. And for some people, that's everything. Life is too short to not have great sex, to not feel good, and to not be able to keep up with your significant other. And I think your significant other is a little younger than you, right? By a few
no,
years?
no, actually we're the same age. Which
What?
which oh yeah, she looks a lot better than me. So so she's aged very well.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Awesome. His girlfriend, I'm friends with, like, I've known her for quite a while. She's an awesome girl, and they're going
yeah.
to get married sometime. We don't know
We
yet.
are sometime soon. We're hoping soon. I mean, we have to figure that out, but life is good. We're living together. It feels like we have a really healthy family. This is probably the healthiest relationship I've ever been in, which is amazing. I'm almost 40. It feels like I get to live my prayer. I'm living my prayer. Everything is great.
Giving me chills,
Yeah.
man. And I love hearing that. And I love seeing your journey. From when you first came and saw us to kind of how you are now. We've seen a major difference. I mean, I'm getting texts from Tim. Hey, have you seen Hunter? No, he's in the gym consistently, and I just love seeing that life change. And I think a lot of people don't really understand or see that, but we get to see it every day, and we kind of take it for granted. And so my goal is to kind of get it out there that, hey, you know what? We're improving the quality of people's lives here with testosterone. We're changing people's lives, and it's not a bad thing to be on it. I mean, I got on it when I was 34 years old,
Mhm.
and it has totally changed my life. I've lost 50 pounds on it. I have a much better sex life. I feel vigorous again, and it's just rocked every other part of my life. And I see
Mhm.
that. know it, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. And being able to talk to other guys about it is something that I think is my mission, because I have guys that are young that are super embarrassed about telling people that they're on testosterone. So one thing that I'd ask you is, what would you tell those guys that are young that are super embarrassed about going on testosterone?
I mean, I want to feel good, and it's like, like there's very few things to be embarrassed about when you're feeling good. I mean, that's the thing with, bringing your quality of life back. It's like you don't worry about the embarrassment of other things or other people. I mean, my goal is to live a fulfilling life. And it's not just not using or drinking, it's being the best I can in my job, my family, like feeling healthy. It's my obligation to try to be the best person I can, and stuff like this helps. And like I think you probably could do it naturally, but I don't even know if you can. I don't know how. I mean, this might be a little bit of a trick, a little bit of a gets you there a little bit quicker. But the thing is, I don't know. I don't want to lose muscle mass. Like I don't want to lose my sex drive. Like I really don't have time to be in the gym 6 days a week. It helps with even like, maintaining weight, right? I mean, that's a big thing. Or the energy to do the other things, be a good parent, like work hard. There's only so much time in your day. So it's like, if this allows me to even get a few extra hours every day, I mean, that makes my life longer. Try to make your life better, right? Do it.
Or at least what I tell people, at least get yourself checked, right? I mean, if you're having symptoms of low testosterone, you're exhausted all the time, you have low libido, you can't get it up in the morning, and it impacts us men in a major way. And so I think that that's a healthy thing for men to at least get checked. And if they're not, we won't treat them. But if they are appropriate, we're going to get you to optimal levels and help you change your life. That's our goal. So
Mhm.
thank you for sharing that. You've been very transparent about your journey of sobriety. I'd love to kind of dig into that a little bit more. That's something that's very personal to me. A lot of people don't know that I am in recovery. Also, I'm gonna get my month chip on in next week actually, and I'm
Congratulations.
you. My sponsor's going to be there. Like, it's been a hard journey for me. Talking about it on stage is kind of a little nerve-wracking. And I love how confident you are when you speak about that. And I really appreciate that. And I kind of would like to know, has TRT helped you in your health regimen in your journey of being sober? And how has it helped your personal life?
I think it's definitely helped my personal life, and it's helped maintain my routine, in the gym and eating healthy, and it allows me to see results, so I think because I am a person in recovery, sometimes like I'm impatient, but this allows me to have the energy to like maintain, even like recovery. It helps with recovery when I go to the gym. So yeah, it's improved my life. It's helped it in my personal life, probably in my relationship. I actually was worried about it affecting my mood, and it probably has helped it be more stable. It's weird. Like I feel more stable than I have in a long time, but maybe, that's like a combination of everything, right? It's a combination of like probably eating healthy and exercising and trying to balance life with work. I probably don't do a great job, but I feel like I do, it's definitely helped.
But what you're saying is a very like interesting misconception about testosterone. And I want to mention that real quick. Some people like have this idea that you're gonna become like you're gonna roid rage and become more
Yeah.
aggressive, more mean. And what we tell people is, if you're generally a nice guy, if you're generally a nice guy, you're gonna be nicer. Like, it helps you feel better. And that's not, now if you're generally a mean guy or a mean jerk, if we get you to too high levels,
Yeah.
then you could roid rage. And but
Yeah.
that's generally not what happens. And we are very careful about that. We do not get you to stacking roid rage levels, usually between 7 and 1100. Those are the numbers that we want to get you to. The high version of your normal. And
Yeah.
that's your age and the symptoms that you're feeling, and we're passionate about that. So yeah, thank you for sharing that I like to expand on that one, and wives are worried about that too.
Yeah, I don't know if I've even gotten mad since I've taken it. I mean, in general, I try to like live in a place of prayer and, a place of gratitude. So maybe like you said, it just helps. If you're that person, it just expands on it.
So one thing that you're doing, and I love that you're doing it because I think it is so needed, and you're native yourself, and you're working on this sober recovery center. Can you expand on that and kind of explain to people what you're
Yeah.
doing, how you're doing it, and when it's going to be going live? Because I would love to get this out to the world. It's so needed.
Yeah. Well, the goal is to be up and running by February. We close on a property November 4th, if everything goes right. But yes, I've been fundraising the past month. So, but yes, the past month. I mean, this has been something I've been talking about and designing with people for the past 4 years. There is a lack of quality native owned rehabs nationally. There's probably 50 or less that are privately owned. The rest would be owned by or managed by IHS, which is Indian Health Services, and tribal governments. So there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy with that. One of the things with private care is we're able to help faster. You know, if we want to do something, we can do it. We don't have to, deal with we don't have to deal with like legislations, or we don't have to deal with upper management or department heads that have to deal with, paperwork. I mean, we have paperwork, but it's not the same, because it becomes smaller and it's easier to move the direction that benefits people quicker, and you can do individual care a little bit easier when you're private. It's kind of like going to a men's health clinic, right? I mean, it's easier to do what needs to be done for an individual compared to if we were going to a VA. The VA is going to take a lot longer to get a man on testosterone than you. And it's the exact same thing. If we come to a private owned native center, I mean, I'll be able to give services that, tribal governments or Indian Health Services probably won't even provide. And, because there's so few nationally, it's a big deal. There's a lot of money out there and a lot of resources that aren't being utilized. Well, one of the things I say is, like in that statistic with IHS and tribal governments they run 90% of the rehabs for native clients. But if you look at the Navajo Nation, they have 200,000 members on their reservation. They don't even have a rehab, So if the biggest tribe in the country doesn't have it, and my tribe, which is in one of the top wealthiest tribes in the country, doesn't have it, who has it? So the access to individuals doesn't exist. Like there's very few of them. And not saying that Native Americans are completely different, but some of our generational like trauma is a little bit different because we are from this country, and a lot of our grandparents are put into boarding schools, and our culture was taken, and we live in the land that we see it. Like it happened here, it didn't happen somewhere else. So yeah, we're trying to build this and it's going to be successful. It's a need and a huge gap that needs to be, it needs to be filled.
So I know this is kind of I would say an epidemic. It is all over the place, and I think
Yes.
recovery for everybody is an epidemic. And I love what you're doing, and I think it's such a cool niche. So let's say I have a family member that's a native that needs help. How do we get a hold of you, or how do they get a hold of you?
Our website is thundermakerwellnesscenter.com, or we have thundermakerculturalrecovery.org. So we have a 501c3 we're going to be working with.
All right. Awesome. Well, is there anything that you can add? Have you felt taken care of with TCMH? Is there anything that we could be doing better? I want to be totally transparent, like you're talking to a friend.
Everything's great. I mean, when I message you guys, someone gets back to me. It feels like I can text message or email and I get a response. It feels like, yeah, like friends, family, like I've known you for years, and that you're there to make sure I'm benefiting, not just as a client, but as like a human.
Appreciate that, man. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your crazy busy schedule for this.
Yeah.